Hello?
This would allow for expediting, giving John direction to expedite several of the restaurants and whatever, all those kind of things we need to do for.
And he does it with consultation of the zoning officer, which
Yeah.
is required, and the chairman of the
Do you have all copies? Do you have copies for this? Let's go ahead and hand them out. Yeah, we'll do this under suspension. Get it on, because we have, I don't know, wait for it.
starts Wednesday.
Yep. Hey, here's one for under suspension, I think, because we just want to get it done. Is this, just to, cut off, telling John to go ahead and work on improvements to the restaurants and all that.
So this is just the
This might be under suspension.
Yeah, like this.
Oh, did you just have it? I'm sorry. Okay, is it this one maybe? It doesn't say. Yes, you have it, okay.
what's already on it.
All right, I'll switch to this.
Not to replace all.
Thank you.
Okay. The difference is the way
Looks
this
like it might be.
and the way she
I need sponsors.
it really addresses, strong there. We ain't got that. So we've got two taxes to serve. And John's role is the CFO. Along with working with the zoning officer. And we don't have a planning and zoning commission. We have a planning commission. So that's Frank and Freddie, who's the chair. He would be called in to discuss issues at the same time. We have a zoning board, so we're also authority legislation. So like I said, better administratively, and that's the way Mike worked on putting it right in the road.
So essentially, it takes all that authority that's conferred, be conferred to a strong mayor and allocates it to the people.
Really,
that he wants to.
the city manager's role in this is minimal from the point of view of 7FF. It's all done at the lower administrative level. This is kind of to make him a facilitator and also to enter into agreements with the trade and use the city property.
So, where do we want to add this?
So what do we have? We have 5 minutes?
Yeah, so new business six,
New business six.
suspend the rules
Add new
right at
business
the
six.
beginning of new business to add it, or right at the beginning of the meeting?
Prior to the, at the beginning of the meeting, let's
At
add
the
it.
beginning of the meeting, that way if someone wants to comment on it, they're able to.
Yeah, fine.
Me, Peter, Bill, whoever.
No, thank you. Hi, Joe.
Hi. How are you all doing?
Yeah, let's save us some time, you know, it's honestly, I look at that as particularly controversial.
Get in that long line for the Dunkin' Donuts, right?
No.
Wow. Did she know you? Did she know you? It's just like a act of kindness? An act of kindness? Then you pay for the one behind you? Did you gain or lose on it?
So they're exempt. So they're, that's how they get the contract. Contract calls for it.
Yeah.
But they keep it, don't they get some?
Now, it's better to
It was difficult to get that written.
have an administrator set up, that's why I thought that they called anyway, you know. Sure, as heck should we come here?
I just ran out of time.
Keep in mind, we don't regulate, zoning doesn't regulate outdoor restaurants at all in Hollis, period, we just don't.
Yeah.
So if under liquor control.
Yeah, we don't have,
There's no regulations on that. Sometimes it won't
well, we
happen.
have permissive zoning, so technically, isn't it, if we don't
Because
have.
everything that poses it in the 7MM says, if you don't say anything about it, it's permitted. So the executive order made it something that we done.
After the public hearing, action on the.
Just want John to be able to act and deal with certain things. Oh,
I don't know how many are gonna wanna do it by Wednesday, but they gotta do a lot of work, I'll tell you
I
that.
know, but no, that's, I mean, they'll get done what they can get done, and stand and go, and those who can't will wait a day or two, or find whatever it takes.
Good evening. Would everyone please rise? We'll be led in prayer by Pro Tem Mark Betancourt.
Almighty God, we ask for your blessings upon the members of this council as we assemble here in this chamber to conduct the ongoing business of our city. With your guidance, we will strive to ensure that all our decisions are for the common good, and your inspiration will instill respect, compassion, and thoughtfulness in all our deliberations. Give us the strength and wisdom to lead by example as the people's representatives, and that peace and harmony will mark all our proceedings and keep us faithful to the trust placed in us by the citizens of your community. Amen.
Amen. Alderman Darrell Wilson, please. Pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. In keeping with our past practice since the COVID-19 issue on executive order by Governor Lamont, I will be reading this statement for the record. The meeting of the council will seek to comply with the directive of Executive Order 7B-1 issued by Governor Ned Lamont on March 14, 2020, together with any executive orders subsequently issued which pertain to such meetings. The mayor, members of the city council, the city manager, city clerk, comptroller, and corporate council shall be present in person, but separated by appropriate social distancing at council chambers, or participate remotely by conference call, video conference, or other technology. The meeting shall be televised on the public access channel in real time and posted on the city website, www.norwichct.org, consistent with Executive Order 7B-1 and the usual practices of the City of Norwich. All remarks or comments made by the mayor, members of the Norwich City Council, city officials, and by the public during citizen comment general and the citizen comment on resolutions portions of the meeting shall be included. The citizen comment general and comments on citizens on resolutions may be made telephonically pursuant to the following instructions. Call the phone number, first dial 860-215-8140, and then when prompted, enter the conference ID 403-8191, followed by the pound key. This number will be available only during the citizen comment general and public comment period listed on the agenda as citizen comment general and citizen comment on resolutions. Its use commences when citizen comment general and citizen comment on resolutions is reached and opened by the mayor. Any calls must be made prior to the mayor's announcement that the citizen comment general and citizen comment on resolutions period has ended. Citizen comment general and citizen comments on resolutions limited to the resolutions on the agenda may also be sent by email or means of other written communication stating the name, address, and title, if applicable, of the sender. Email should be sent to the office of the mayor at mayorsoffice@cityofnorwich.org, and other written communications sent or delivered to the office of the mayor at 100 Broadway, Norwich, Connecticut 06360. Emails must have been received by 7 p.m. this evening, this above-mentioned date, and other written communications received by 4:30 p.m., again, the above-mentioned date, which is May 18th, to be made available to the City Council for this meeting. Citizen comment general and citizen comments will be limited to the resolutions on the agenda only. All speakers taking part in the citizen comment on resolutions portions of the meeting shall clearly state their name, address, and title, if applicable, before speaking, and will be limited to 3 minutes. As we begin this evening, I'd like to introduce Alderman Darrell Wilson. He will be sharing with us a proclamation on Haitian Flag Day. Alderman Wilson, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mayor Nystrom. Again, I want to thank each and every one of you that are listening in and watching in. Today is an important day for our Haitian American and Haitian community abroad, as it is National Haitian Flag Day in the country of Haiti that represents independence. So normally they would have had a festival to commemorate this important day over the weekend. However, with the COVID-19 situation, that is unable to happen. And like with any other culture in our community, I felt it befitting to have the council, the city of Norwich, help them celebrate it in a small way. And this proclamation just helps us show our appreciation, dedication, and honor to the Haitian community here in Norwich and abroad. So I'm going to read the proclamation, and then I will present it to Enoch from the Haitian community and let him say a word. So it reads as follows. Whereas May 18th has been celebrated as Haitian Flag Day for generations, commemorating the flag's creation in 1803 by Jean-Jacques Dessalines at the Congress of Aachen, and recognizing the history, the culture, and heritage of the Haitian people as they created their nation through a struggle for freedom that resonates across the globe and inspires independence movements in Latin America, Asia, and Africa. And whereas the coat of arms depicts a trophy of weapons atop a green hill and royal palms symbolizing independence, and whereas the motto "Le Union fait la force" means unity makes strength, depicts the vast amount of pride, dignity each Haitian has in their culture, community, and history. Whereas Norwich is home to a large Haitian community, which is an integral part in the fabric of the Rose City and contributes immeasurably to the entire city's rich and unique diversity. And whereas the residents of Norwich are encouraged to take note of and to honor the Haitian community, its history, its roles in and contributions to the city of Norwich. Now therefore I, Peter Albert Nystrom, and City Council President Pro Tem Mark Betancourt, on behalf of the Norwich City Council and the citizens of the city of Norwich, do hereby proclaim May 18th Haitian Flag Day in the city of Norwich and encourage all citizens to observe the appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities dated this 18th day of May, 2020, signed Peter Albert Nystrom, Mayor, Mark Betancourt, President Pro Tem, Darrell Wilson, Alderman. Mr. Enoch.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Enoch Petithomme. I've been here numerous times. I just want to thank everyone for this great proclamation. As you know, the Haitian community here in Norwich, we approximately 15,000 Haitians living in southeastern Connecticut, most importantly in Norwich. So, you know, we've been contributing members to Norwich, to the society, and we appreciate each and every one of you guys for all you do on behalf of the city. We're doing this tough time. Things are not normal, but we're hoping things will go back to normal pretty soon. And as it is mentioned that, you know, this too shall pass, and we should go back to normal. And I thank you on behalf of the Haitian community, and I also thank my club president, the Haitian club president at Norwich Free Academy, Galan, and Mr. Leo Butler for you know, putting all this weight behind the Haitian community to actually, you know, lead us to a positive path. I thank you again, and good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Following next on our agenda is citizen comment in general. Again, the call phone number must be dialed is 860-215-8140.
and then when prompted, enter the conference ID 403-8191, followed by the pound key. Citizen comment general is open. Again, if you are watching us on cable TV or through other means, Citizen Comment General is your opportunity to speak to us about any issues, in particular those not on our agenda. This is an opportunity provided each month, and we welcome your calls and your opinions. The number to call in is 860-215-8140, and again, when prompted, enter the conference ID 403-8191, followed by the pound key. Second call is for Citizen Comment General. We invite you to call and share with us your concerns. The number is 860-215-8140. And when prompted, the conference ID is 403-8191, followed by the pound key. If you have just joined us, Citizen Comment General is open for members of the public to call in. The number is 860-215-8140. And when prompted, enter the conference ID 403-8191, followed by the pound key. In keeping with our public hearing protocols and public comment protocols, we invite you to call in. This is the third request. Dial number 860-215-8140. Again, when prompted, the conference ID is 403-8191, followed by the pound key. Seeing no one has called in at this time, I would then declare the Citizen Comment General to be closed. Thank you.
Public hearing number 1. An ordinance adopting ordinance 1714 adopted February 17, 2015 pertaining to the adoptive, reuse, and rehabilitation of the historic Panema Mills by extending the date for the termination of the construction period from July 1st, 2020 to December 31st, 2021.
I declare this public hearing open and invite anyone who wishing to speak in favor of this ordinance to do so at this time. And we welcome callers as well. Anyone wish to speak in favor of this ordinance or call in? Again, the ordinance is open for public comment in favor of this ordinance. If you wish to join us, please dial the number 860-215-8140, then conference ID 403-8191, followed by the pound key. The second request. This is the third request for anyone speaking in favor of this ordinance. Please dial the number 860-215-8140, followed by the conference ID 403-8191, again followed by the pound key. At this time, I would ask for anyone wishing to speak in opposition to this ordinance. If you wish to do so, please dial 860-215-8140 and the conference ID 403-8191, followed by the pound key. The line is open. Second request, if anyone wishes to speak in opposition to this ordinance, please dial 860-215-8140, followed by the conference ID of 403-8191 and the pound key. Third and final request, if anyone wants to speak in opposition to this ordinance, please dial 860-215-8140, followed by the conference ID 403-8191, and then the pound key. Seeing no one wishes to speak in opposition at this time, I would then declare this public hearing closed.
Second reading in action on the proposed ordinance listed. Number 1, an ordinance amending ordinance 1714 adopted February 17, 2015, pertaining to the adoptive reuse and rehabilitation of the historic Panema Mills by extending a date for the termination of the construction period from July 1st, 2020 to December 31st, 2021.
At this time, I would ask for a motion to put this ordinance before us on the floor. Is there such a motion? Alderwoman Gould, is there a second? Alderwoman Miles. Is there discussion?
Waive the reading.
Pardon me?
Waive the reading.
I'll say
Please.
so.
Yeah, yeah.
Just,
Technically, I know.
The reading of the,
Yes.
Yeah.
The motion should have included a request to waive the full text of the reading. My apologies. Yep. If that's in keeping with the maker of the motion and the seconder,
Yes, yes.
thank you very much. Okay, is there discussion on the ordinance at this time? Please, Pro Tem Mark
Just-
Bettencourt.
just so people know that this is basically just an extension for the Panema Mill project. Obviously, there's been a lot of things going on over the years. I mean, this project has hit several snags, particularly with financing and stuff that have taken a long time to work out, and some of the things have pushed it to the point where The next phase of development will run past the expiration date, so they requested an extension, and I think it's certainly worthwhile to grant that. I mean, if anything, this has been a real, keeper as far as projects go. I'm less than a mile up the road from it, and it's certainly adding something to the village, and I look forward to its completion.
Thank you. Is there further discussion? I would only add that this phase has already begun. They are working to complete 77 more units of housing, and that's what we're simply allowing for, that we're moving the date of completion out to assist them. Seeing no other discussion, could we have a roll call, please?
Alderman DeLucia?
Yes.
Alderwoman Miles?
Yes.
Alderman Wilson?
Yes.
Alderwoman Gould?
Yes.
Alderman Nash?
Yes.
President Pro Tem Bettencourt?
Yes.
Mayor Nystrom?
Yes.
That's 7-0.
Thank you. The motion passes 7-0. City Manager's report, please.
This is the city manager report for May 18th, 2020. Meetings held via conference call or video conferencing included meetings with Governor Lamont, state representatives and legislators, Region 4 of Emergency Management and Homeland Security, statewide COVID-19 local health departments, COG, School Budget Ad Hoc Committee, and Public Safety. City staff and I have had multiple meetings with Jason Vincent from NCDC, who has been coordinating with many of the local restaurants to open outdoor dining according to the governor's guidelines for May 20th. The city will be providing traffic barriers and picnic tables in some areas based on the restaurant plan. Downtown restaurants included for outdoor dining are Billy Wilson's, These Guys, La Stella, Old Times, 99, Sunset, Manny's are also planning outdoor areas, but in their own property areas. Restaurants resuming and working on a plan are Heart and Dragon, Scores at Holiday Inn, Caddyshack, Congeo's, 86, Uncle D Blazins Barbecue, Johnny's Clam Shack, and Poppy and Rye. Thank you, Jason, for providing the tools to assist our community restaurants to reopen in Connecticut. The Office of Community Development is accepting community development block grants applications for program year 45 as a substantial amendment to the current 2019-2020 annual plan until 4 p.m. on May 21st. Funding is available in the amount of $506,569, and the funds must be utilized to prevent, prepare, or respond to the COVID-19 virus. Leanne Gomes, Director of Norwich Human Services and a member of the Complete Count Committee, has been working diligently to assist the city's residents to complete their census forms. Since the city's original outreach for the census was affected by COVID-19, she has gotten approval to allow caseworkers and volunteers to assist with phone calls to arrange census workers to contact our residents to complete the census over the phone. Thank you to members of the members and volunteers from the Complete Count Committee and students workers supplied from a grant from the Community Foundation of Eastern Connecticut, and Representatives Kevin Ryan, who was instrumental in assisting with this plan. Everyone counts. And that completes my report for 2020.
Thank you, John. Are there questions of the city manager at this time? Seeing none, thank you. Before we move forward on citizen comments on resolutions, we've all had a resolution copy distributed to us, and this is a resolution that we would like to discuss this evening, but before we can do that, we need to suspend our rules.
Mayor, I would motion that we suspend the rules in order to introduce resolution number 6.
Is there a second? Is Alderman Wilson seconded? All those in favor of suspension? Sorry, roll call. Everything must be roll call for public record.
Alderman DeLucia?
Yes.
Alderwoman Miles?
Yes.
Alderman Wilson?
Yes.
Alderwoman Gould?
Yes.
Alderman Nash?
Yes.
President Pro Tem Bettencourt?
Yes.
Mayor Nystrom?
Yes.
7-0.
Thank you. The motion carries 7-0 for suspension. This would be resolution number 6, and we take the liberty of writing a title. I hope it's appropriate for everyone. This would be a resolution pertaining to cooperative agreements in relation to partial reopening of businesses in Norwich on May 20th, 2020. Could I have a motion, please, to bring this to our agenda? Alderman Nash, seconded by Alderman Wilson. Is there discussion?
Are we taking up the motion? I mean, the resolution?
This is the resolution to put it on the agenda.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This is just to place it on the agenda.
Correct.
And it would allow for citizens' comment, who anyone wants to call, to speak to us, so forth. And I realize it's in a situation that doesn't have much notice, but all those in favor, please call the roll.
Alderman DeLucia?
Yes?
Alderwoman Miles?
Yes.
Alderman Wilson?
Yes.
Alderwoman Gould?
Yes.
Alderman Nash?
Yes.
President Pro Tem Bettencourt?
Yes.
Mayor Nystrom?
Yes.
That's 7-0.
Thank you. Motion carries 7-0. To place it on the agenda will be listed as items number 6. Yes.
Should at least the resolves be read into the record out loud?
Well, the matter's not, we certainly do that at the time the resolution is called, absolutely. I understand your point.
That's all. Because anyone making one to make comment would.
I hear you. I tried the title to reflect the purpose.
Okay.
Do you want me to read just the results? Or-
No, when we take it up, we will. I mean, it's not before us now, it's been added, the vote's over.
Citizen comment on resolutions.
I declare citizen comment on the now 6 resolutions open and invite anyone to call in at 860-215-8140. The conference ID is 403-8191, followed by the pound key. The line is yours if you wish to speak with us. Again, a citizen comment on resolutions is open. The lines are free. The number to call in is 860-215-8140. Please go ahead.
Marvin Cerruto, 100 Star Street, Norwich, Connecticut, United States of America. Thank you. I'd like to comment on Resolution 3 first, that I am in favor of that resolution. And on Resolution 6, I'm not very familiar with the resolution, but I am in favor of returning our city to conducting normal business as rapidly as possible, especially all areas of business, which include our constitutional rights, one in particular, to commence fingerprinting so that we may obtain concealed carry permits once again, and also getting our houses of worship open as soon as possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
2116 Hobart Avenue. My comment is related especially to resolution number 6. While I understand the title can be of some benefit to the rest of the city, not being able to read the specifics, having those read so that people can comment on it appropriately is still improper in this case. I would appreciate it if future cases that resolutions, when introduced the night of the meeting, read into the record before citizen comment on the same. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. The lines are open. The number is 860-215-8140. Then the conference ID is 403-8191, followed by the pound key.
Joanne Gilbert, 10 Elm Avenue, Norwich Town. My comment is in regards to resolution number 6, which is brought before us at the last minute, so of course there's no opportunity to do research on this. I will say that I am not in favor of this. Wait, let me turn this off. I am not in favor of this on a variety of reasons. I have emailed each and every member of the City Council and the City Manager on numerous occasions addressing issues. For whatever reason, you refuse to answer my emails. I ask legitimate questions that are, why am I getting feedback when I have my TV off? You know, this is an effort in futility, ladies and gentlemen. I have sat up there long enough to know that you really are not interested in what we have to say. So go ahead and promote it, and when the ICUs fill up and more people die and big business flourishes, congratulations.
Thank you for your comments. The number to call in is 860-215-8140, conference ID 403-8191, followed by the pound key. Again, we're in keeping with the governor's executive order, and this is a method by which we can hear your concerns. The number is 860-215-8140, followed by the conference ID 403-8191 and the pound key. Our final and third request. If you'd like to comment on resolutions on our agenda, please dial 860-215-8140, conference ID 403-8191, followed by the pound key. Seeing that there are no other callers, I will declare the citizen comment on resolutions is closed, and we thank the 3 citizens who shared their concerns with us this evening.
New business resolution 1, relative to authorizing city manager John Salamone to execute and deliver an extension of the lease agreement with the state of Connecticut Department of Transportation pertaining to land located off Waurika Street between Route 2 and Route 32 and the Norwich Little League Complex.
Entertain a motion, please, to bring this forward. Yes, Alderman Miles, second by Pro Tem Bettencourt. Is there discussion? Yes.
We just asked the city manager to explain what this is about.
Yes, this is a parcel of property adjacent to the city's Little League fields. It completes the outfield area that's adjacent to Route 2, which is owned by the city. If you know, you can see the Little League fields from Route 2. So it's generously offered by the state, and the lease goes coterminous for 5 years.
Thank you. Are there further concerns, questions? If not, could we have roll call, please, on this resolution?
Alderman DeLucia?
Yes.
Alderwoman Miles?
Yes.
Alderman Wilson?
Yes.
Alderwoman Gould?
Yes.
Alderman Nash?
Yes.
President Pro Tem Bettencourt?
Yes.
Mayor Nystrom?
Yes.
7-0.
Motion passes 7-0.
Number 2, relative to an appointment to the Community Development Advisory Committee.
Motion, please, to put this forward. Alderwoman Miles, is there a second? Alderman Nash, is there discussion? Yes, Alderman DeLucia.
Just like to say that the person being appointed is Tucker Braddock. It's a long and reputable record here in the city of Norwich, and I thank him for being willing to sit on yet another committee.
Thank you. Is there further discussion? Seeing there is, roll call, please.
Alderman DeLucia?
Yes.
Alderwoman Miles?
Yes.
Alderman Wilson?
Yes.
Alderman Gould?
Yes.
Alderman Nash?
Yes.
President Pro Tem Bettencourt?
Yes.
Mayor Nystrom?
Yes.
It's 7-0.
Thank you. The motion passes 7-0.
Number 3, relative to a hiring freeze for permanent positions.
Motion, please, to put this on the floor. Alderman Wilson, second. Alderwoman Miles, is there discussion? Alderman Nash.
I just have, I agree with this in all the principles. The only thing I'm concerned about is it does say whenever possible, but I just want to make sure that we understand that the Norwich Police Department, and we do have the chief here, so he might be able to help me clarify my statement, but I'm just concerned that hiring for police is a little different than hiring a truck driver for fleet maintenance or public works. It takes a little longer to get somebody into the pipeline. So I'm just concerned that this might freeze them out, as you know, for the academy and all that kind of stuff. So I just want to make sure that we're not, though, like I said, I agree with the hiring freeze. I'm just concerned that I don't want to use the word exempt the police department from that, but it does say whenever possible. So I just wanted to get some clarification on that.
I could answer it,
Thank you, sir.
Councilor Nash. If you look at the,
Excuse me, John, could you pull the microphone closer?
maybe it's
People trying to hear may not hear you.
that's probably better. If you reference the second to last line on the last paragraph of the resolution, it said required under current circumstances. I would interpret that to be circumstances that would, like having to get a patrol officer in the academy, things like that. So that's where the flexibility would be.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Appreciate the answer.
Yes, Pro Tem Bettencourt.
I mean, we did have some discussions offline regarding this, so because I originally wanted something maybe a little tighter in language, but I think giving the city manager the you know, the responsibility, which he already has really,
Thank you.
to make these determinations is probably the best way to go.
Yes, Alderman DeLucia.
And to that point, and in direct response to Alderman Nash's concern, that's why the language in the last paragraph begins with requested to implement a freeze wherever possible.
That's what I was.
Yeah,
Thank you.
exactly. What Pro Tem Betancourt is getting at is we've expressed a desire, but we wanted to give the city manager the latitude to do what was in the best interest of the city.
I do have a question.
City Manager, you have the floor.
I do. Thank you. I assume that this would also include NPU. They're a department of the city, theoretically.
I don't think it could, because we don't govern NPU.
Well, we do their hiring and their testing. The testing goes through human resources. We wouldn't do the interviewing and things like that, but the control of the position flows through human.
Don't the commissioners do that?
I don't know if they get directly involved with hiring.
I mean, they make the determinations with their budget. We treat them essentially like we treat the Board of Ed, you know, where we just bottom line their budget.
It's a little bit different than the Board of Ed because
Yeah.
of the budgetary relationship. We have the ability to cut the budget line item by line item. If we choose Board of Ed, you only have the one line item. So we have more fiscal control over NPU than we do over the Board of Ed, so it's not exactly applicable. So I'll go either way. I just wanted to get some direction on this. Maybe
Corporate Counsel, please.
I know that NPU now is in the process of trying to fill a position that will be important for their operation. I don't know if that will take place before June 30th because they have to advertise and seek qualified candidates. From the purchasing point of view, the purchasing agent is not involved in the purchases that NPU makes. I think in the past, the practice has been that they've handled their own hiring. I don't know if that necessarily establishes that that's the only way it can go, but I don't think that the city has been particularly involved in determining when they make a hire or how they make a hire.
The floor is yours.
I will say that, you know, from my perspective, it wasn't my intent to include NPU in this resolution, and that I believe their governance deals with those issues separately. So.
Okay, then we'll keep it out, but I think it was good to get that on the record.
Yes, Alderman DeLucia.
Also responding to the city manager, I would have a concern that this legislative body try to cast its authority over what is clearly the board of commissioners at NPU. We've had conversations about where that line actually is. However, I do not think it would be unreasonable to expect that in light of this, that the city manager would have a conversation with the general manager at NPU, which could then be relayed to the commissioners to say, again, the city council has this desire that we control the pace of our hiring and to the foreseeable future until we actually have a budget in place. And I'm certain that they would be, I don't know if I want to say receptive, but they would be respectful of that intent. And I'm sure that they would understand why we're making that request of the city manager. I think it starts with a communication before the city council decides to try to end run the utility, because there are some gray areas and there are some hard lines between us and them, and I don't want it to become us and them on this issue. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there further discussion or questions? Yes, Alderwoman Gould.
Well, with that being said, does that affect the Board of Education, since we are in control of, let's say, their bottom line?
I wouldn't, may I?
floor is
I
yours,
wouldn't view the
John.
Board of, I would view the Board of Ed as a separate entity since we do not, at this point, get into recruitment, testing, or hiring of any Board of Ed position. And I don't really I'm not really advocating necessarily to take NPU on in that sense. I just wanted to get some clarifications. I'd be glad to go back to the general manager because, as we all know, they have a tight fiscal situation now themselves with revenue not coming in up to expectations. So I can certainly relay this resolution back to them, and hopefully then he would put it on the agenda for their next meeting.
Alderman Wilson.
So, so I would agree with that part of maybe working with the general manager, not per se telling them what to cut or to advertise, but working in a strategic way, since you do take on many of those responsibilities of helping with the advertising, the testing, and things of that sort. So, as they're looking at their situation, maybe just a communication instead of, maybe an anticipation of a possible position that you may have anticipated having to advertise here, just a constant communication as to what they're looking to do. But I think just overall kind of everyone having the same understanding, the language is kind of in here, but I think as we're all kind of looking at the city as a whole and not knowing exactly what's going to happen come the fall, I think just have an open line of communication with the general manager as to his goals, as well as the Board of Commissioners, I think would be the best route to go.
Alderman DeLucia.
So to Alderwoman Gould's question, yes, I have concerns there because just like we cannot tell the utility when to hire, who to hire, how many to hire, we really don't have the authority to tell the Board of Education those same things. The board understands that they do not have a budget number from us yet. They're meeting tomorrow night. I'd hope that they would consider seriously that any positions that they were to fill between now and the time a budget is adopted, and they know what that hard number is, that they understand that anybody that is hired is at risk. But that is true for all new people in the district, especially those who are not tenured. Again, none of that is the providence of this council. So we're making a request and expressing a desire of the person that answers directly to us, and that is the city manager. We're making our desire known to the other entities in the city of Norwich, but we have to be careful again to know where the line, or where the scope of our authority ends.
Is there further comment or concerns? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Alderman DeLucia?
Yes.
Alderwoman Miles?
Yes.
Alderman Wilson?
Yes.
Alderwoman Gould?
Yes.
Alderman Nash?
Yes.
President Pro Tem Bettencourt?
Yes.
Mayor Nystrom?
Yes.
7-0.
Motion passes 7-0.
Resolution 4, relative to city manager to enter in, execute, and deliver a memorandum of understanding between the Department of Emergency Services and Public Protection relative to the city's use of Connecticut Land Mobile Radio Network.
Thank you. Is a motion, please bring this forward. Alderwoman Gould, second by Alderman Nash. Is there discussion? Yes, Alderwoman Gould.
Well, as long as the chief of police is here this evening, just want to make sure that this meets the needs of the police department and other partners in our emergency service system.
Chief Daley, please state your name and address for the public record.
Patrick Daly, 142 Newton Street, Norwich. Yes, this is an agreement to allow us to join the state police radio network, the CLMN, whatever the acronym is. And at the same time, it allows us to place equipment at their Econ Hill site, so our site in Wheelabrator can communicate via microwave with that site. Orchard Street, which we have significant assets and has been completely rebuilt, uses our fiber to get into the state fiber to get connectivity into the central core up at Rocky Hill. If that makes sense.
Yes.
Any other questions? I know it's a little. It's all the Corporation Council and the state worked on this, but if you have any questions about it, I'm not an expert, but I can fumble my way through it.
Thank you. Questions, anyone? Alderman DeLucia.
So, I mean, this is really a piece of the culmination of a $2.7 million bond to improve radio communications throughout the
Yes, and actually, we're in the testing phase right now. We're operating on the system. I brought the portable up. I forgot to bring it up, but we're operating on the state system right now. And the coverage we're getting is beyond any wildest dreams. So this was done very, very quickly, significantly under budget. You know, it's half to three-quarters what we could have paid for this. And it's just about done. As soon as we're fully operational, we'll let you guys know, but this is beyond our wildest dreams. There's room to grow. Utilities has expressed interest, like Alderman Gould said, of coming on. And some of the fire departments are looking to see down the road about coming onto the system.
Thank you.
I just want to thank the voters. I mean, I believe it was like 8,000 voters supported this, and I want to thank them and you guys for making this all happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Chief, a question?
Yes.
If my memory's working tonight, I thought there was a $147,000 state assist through Senator Austin's
There's
office?
been a lot of state assists along the way. It's a $500,000 assist from,
Initially.
from Senator Austin. We've also got from the nuclear fund $88,000 out of that, all of that, which has helped to offset the cost. Because the original 2.7 was just for the equipment and the infrastructure, the antenna sites. And then that other money allowed us to get the radios and a lot of the stuff to build it out to where it needs to be. So.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
If there are no other questions, roll
Alderman
call.
DeLucia?
Yes.
Alderwoman Miles?
Yes.
Alderman Wilson?
Yes.
Alderwoman Gould?
Yes.
Alderman Nash?
Yes.
President Pro Tem Bettencourt?
Yes.
Mayor Nystrom?
Yes.
That's 7-0.
Motion passes 7-0. Resolution 5, please.
Relative to city manager to enter into, execute, and deliver a license agreement relative to the city's use of the communication facility located at 389 Econ Hill Road, Sterling, Connecticut.
Motion, please, put this on the floor. Alderman Nash, second. Alderwoman Miles. Is there discussion? Just for the record, this is a secondary agreement to the one we just discussed. This deals specifically with the site at Econ Hill. They are both needed. It's a package deal. Seeing no other discussion, call the roll, please.
Alderman DeLucia?
Yes.
Alderwoman Miles?
Yes.
Alderman Wilson?
Yes.
Alderwoman Gould?
Yes.
Alderman Nash?
Yes.
President Pro Tem Bettencourt?
Yes.
Mayor Nystrom?
Yes.
7-0.
Motion passes 7-0. Resolution 6.
Relative to a cooperation agreement for partial reopening of businesses in Norwich.
Motion, please, on the floor. Alderman Nash, second. Alderwoman Gould. Clarify it? Yeah. Just for the record, when it was under suspension added to us, the complete title was Resolution Pertaining to Cooperative Agreements in Relation to the Partial Reopening of Businesses in Norwich on May 20th, 2020. And if we could, through our city clerk, read into the public record the last two paragraphs so that anyone in the public gets a stronger understanding of what this is.
Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the City of Norwich, Connecticut, that City Manager John Salamone be and hereby is authorized and directed to coordinate, expedite municipal reviews of outdoor dining and retail, to consult as he deems appropriate and necessary with local enforcement officials, including the zoning enforcement officer, the building official, the director of public works, the police chief, the fire chief, the general manager of Norwich Public Utilities, the planning director, representatives of Norwich Community Development Corporation, and representatives of Oak Hills Health District, and to assist to make available for use of outdoor dining city-owned properties, if located within appropriately zoned areas and public sidewalks and non-vehicular right-of-ways and vehicular right-of-ways within the control of the City of Norwich, when it is in his opinion that any involved local enforcement officials, this may be a safety and efficiently done. And be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Norwich, Connecticut, that City Manager John Salamone be and hereby is authorized and directed on behalf of the City of Norwich to enter into agreements satisfactory to him and the appropriate local enforcement officials relative to the use of city properties, sidewalks, and non-vehicular right-of-ways and vehicular right-of-ways to support the outdoor activities as defined in Section 7 MM of the General Statutes, subject to the terms and conditions of Executive Order 7 MM DECD guidelines and section rules applicable to such use and any amendments thereto, as long as the same shall be effective under the state emergency declared by Governor Ned Lamont. Sponsors, Mayor Nystrom, President Pro Tem, and Alderman Nash.
Thank you. Further, for the public record, this really codifies the group of departments and, in some case, volunteers who have been assisting this city in moving towards a partial reopening of our restaurants here in the city of Norwich, which is scheduled 2 days from now. And also, in prior times when we have designated publicly owned parking lots, for example, we would pass a resolution acknowledging the date of that event. Well, this goes beyond that. This will be in effect until such time, I believe, as the executive order of the governor ends, unless otherwise directed by the city manager and the appropriate personnel. And if our corporate counsel would like to address this further, that would be great.
Not address on the issue, but I noticed in the second of the clauses the city clerk read, it reads Section 7MM of the General Statutes. That should be Executive Order 7MM, so there could be an amendment to correct that.
Oh, could you repeat that one more time, please?
Yes, it's in the final paragraph, fourth line from the bottom, as defined in Section 7MM of the General Statutes.
It should read the executive order.
Executive Order 7MM.
Okay.
I would
Motion
so
by Pro
move.
Tem.
I would so move that we amend the resolution accordingly.
I'll second that motion.
Seconded by Alderwoman Gould. The amendment is replacing general statutes with executive order for the public's edification. Is there a discussion on the amendment offered? Seeing none, roll call on the amendment, please.
Alderman DeLucia?
Yes.
Alderwoman Miles?
Yes.
Alderman Wilson?
Yes.
Alderwoman Gould?
Yes.
Alderman Nash?
Yes.
President Pro Tem Bettencourt?
Yes.
Mayor Nystrom?
Yes.
7-0.
Amendment passes 7-0. On the resolution as amended, is there discussion? Yes, Pro Tem Bettencourt, please.
I think I wouldn't be out of line in saying that both caucuses here want to be able to facilitate whatever we can do to help our local businesses, and in this case, particularly restaurants that are impacted. Myself, my wife owns a small place not in Norwich, but so I'm certainly familiar with some of the struggles that the restaurant industry is experiencing right now. And we definitely want to be able to do something to help, because, to be honest with you, that's been kind of the scene, especially here in downtown. We've got a very vibrant, I think, food and beverage scene here in the downtown, and we certainly don't want to lose that. So I'm certainly in favor of this. I'm pretty sure everyone else is, and you know, we want to be able to. We thought that. I think this is in the discussions that have been had, that we want to make sure that we facilitate these kind of efforts and not slow things up by a political process that, you know, we would have to observe here, and allow the city manager to do what he needs to do along with our local agencies.
Thank you. Is there further discussion? Yes, Alderman Wilson.
Just for first question, you know, with all of the other individuals that are being considered for appropriate reviews of outdoor dining, just a consideration to reaching out to the parking administrator, as we, you know, will be utilizing on-street parking lots and things of that sort. So kind of like we know what's going on as additional in businesses that may end up using on-street parking versus parking lots and things of that sort. So I just want to add that person into that review as well.
Thank you. I can tell you that she has shared some of her concerns. I've seen the emails myself, and I shared them with John last week as well. Certainly she will always be included in these kinds of choices. That's her purview as far as parking and that, you know, on-street parking as well. It makes sense. Do we need an amendment, or I think John can handle it?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
That's the whole idea. Excuse me.
Yes.
The whole idea is to allow John to be able
Yes.
to deal
Flexible.
with
Yeah.
these issues. That's
Yeah, I'm not asking for an amendment.
Okay.
I'm just saying, you know, as he's going through the review process, to always consider the parking administrator in that group. You know, I mean, for me, the reason I bring that up also is thinking this is going to go well into the summer, most likely, parts of this possibly, and with the upcoming construction downtown, you know, if it does extend to when that starts, making sure that all of the things that are going on as far as parking and all of those things downtown, we take into consideration. So that's the only reason I brought those things up.
Thank you. It strengthens the action, absolutely. Alderman Nash.
As a former business owner of a restaurant, I would say that this is a huge thing. We did hear a couple weeks ago from NCDC about so many businesses not reopening their doors because of this the situation that we're all in at the moment. So I think this little bit, using some of our city property to help bolster some of our businesses that, let's be honest, they pay taxes, they employ citizens, they help people put bread on the table and pay their bills. So I think anything that we could do within reason to help them get open and take a little bit on us as a city. It's what we're here to do. We're here to make decisions that are in the best interest of all of our citizens. So again, as a former business owner of a restaurant, this certainly wouldn't save a place that's struggling, but it's certainly going to help a lot of our businesses that are on the precipice. And this could be something that could keep them from falling off and keep them going forward. And again, as always, I just want to stress this without trying to be a jerk about it, but if you're uncomfortable going out to the restaurants, don't go out to the restaurants. If you're uncomfortable with us opening on the 20th under certain restrictions, you don't have to go out. You can still continue to quarantine. You can still continue to do safe practices. And I mean, I would encourage you to do that anyway, but if you're not comfortable visiting local establishments, then please don't do that. You know, I want you to be safe. I want you to feel safe. But I'm going to support this because I really want to see our businesses get back into it. And I know quite a few business owners in our community that are they just want to get out there and make money and pay their employees and get going. So I think this is a good thing. So thank you.
Thank you. Further? Yes, Alderman DeLucia.
That's all wonderful, and I agree with everything that you all have said. However, not to be the killjoy, I was, well, let me start by saying I was very happy to see Jason Vincent from NCDC and our Public Works Director out meeting with business owners and restaurant owners downtown, talking about how we could smooth the transition and facilitate what they need, to, get going again. Okay? However, caution must rule the day. And when I mean about when I speak about caution, I'm talking about I don't want pedestrians walking in the street intermingling with cars so that we can facilitate tables for restaurants downtown. I don't want to see any business have to worry about the safety of their customers and of their staff on top of everything else that they've got going on. And I'm sure that the people who are listed in this resolution are all weighing in, and common sense is prevailing. However, I don't want to be the council member that has to answer for, well, you smooth the road and it led to somebody getting hurt. So I would just say let's be careful about what we say yes to and hold it up to that bar of does this practice common sense? Does this practice caution? Are our pedestrians, our customers for our local businesses, are they relatively safe even though we've got them in a new environment? Oh, we know that that the traffic downtown can be tricky. We know that the parking downtown can be tricky. We know that you add just a little bit of speed and somebody on a moped or somebody on a bicycle, and now you've got a serious issue. So I just like to know that we're taking all of those things into consideration as we try to accommodate our business owner, because business owners, safety has to come before revenue. I would also, seeing as the chief's here, I'd like to know if this has changed the timing of the community policing officers out on bicycles, especially in the downtown, if we're going to start to have more patrons and customers on the sidewalks and in those tight traffic areas. Just that presence, I think, is helpful.
Very good questions, Alderman. Yes, we will be maintaining community policing presence downtown on the bicycles despite any roadway width issues or anything like that. We're going to be keeping the evening schedule. Right now, there's one officer works days and the remainder work evenings. So they'll be down there. And this is being done with safety as a priority. When they first contacted me, I said we have to have Jersey barriers. It's sawhorses won't cut it here, because it is a confusing traffic pattern, and DUIs are up in the pandemic right now. So that was a very safe concern of mine. Public Works Director, the city manager, has made Jersey barriers appear through hard work, and I think we're at a spot that I feel comfortable right now, and we'll be monitoring it closely.
Perfect, thank you. Just one more thing, Mr. Mayor. So again, I'm thrilled that we're doing this. I believe that this could be the beginning of another quantum shift in how our business owners do business in downtown. This could be really be the impetus to a lasting effect that makes things just a little bit more attractive in the city of Norwich because of our business owners. I love how innovative that everybody at the table is being, and I think that's all great, and I'm behind that 100%. I just want to make sure that we're being deliberate in thinking these things through as we put them into place. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Wilson.
Just a second crack at it. I think I echo exactly what Alderman Delicia's reservations are. For me, I do thank Jason Vincent, the city manager, the mayor, each council member that has worked to get us to this point of reopening. Myself, I will say, personally, I'm very hesitant about reopening on the 20th. I think it's a tricky date, a tricky week, with probably more flow to downtown business this week than normal, with it being Memorial Day weekend. And I think one of the things that I would say is that to our business owners is, as we consider all of these things, they continue to work hard to make sure that the safety, the health of the patrons that patronize their business is first. The other part is safety. I will say, that's the one part that, kind of still iffy for me with, the outdoor dining situation and alcohol consumption and whatnot. So, safety is always a huge thing, especially with some of the small, narrow streets we do have. For me, I think we've got to continue to take caution with what we do. And I think, like I've said before, this pandemic is going to make us have to be creative as a city, not just with this, but with many things to come. And this could be, like Alderman DeLucia has said, something new that evolves to help us. But I think my biggest piece that I want to see is that we continue the constant communication. If we've got to revamp things, if things need to change that aren't working, we do those things, but everyone stays in the same communication loop so that we know what's going on. But for me, the most important thing is us to continue to be safe, making sure that we're reaching out, that businesses feel comfortable and safe even after they've started this outdoor dining process, and that communication continues to help. My last point is I know we're doing the outdoor dining thing for this. It really talks strategically to the businesses that don't have the outdoor dining, that are using on-street parking and things of those sort. I will say we still do have a lot of businesses that have private property. So we should still be working with them to make sure they have the equal opportunity as many other businesses in the city to do outdoor dining, because we want to see as many businesses be successful with this phase as we can. So I don't want it to be us just focusing on a set group of businesses, but providing resolutions for any business that may need some guidance. Thank you.
Thank you. The further discussion? Yes, Alderman Miles.
I just have just one comment to echo regarding the safety of the reopening. And we've been talking about businesses being safe. I would like to put it out there for the residents of our city to please understand that this is going to be a new change to some traffic patterns, use of sidewalks. So please, be careful, be safe, be prudent, stay alert, don't go zooming down the little narrow streets. Keep everyone's safety in mind. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there further discussion? Call the roll, please.
Alderman DeLucia?
Yes.
Alderman Miles?
Yes.
Alderman Wilson?
Yes.
Alderman Gold?
Yes.
Alderman Nash?
Yes.
President Pro Tem Benford?
Yes.
Mayor Nystrom?
Yes.
7-0.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor? Roll call?
Alderman DeLucia?
Yes.
Alderwoman Miles?
Yes.
Alderman Wilson?
Yes.
Alderman Gold?
Yes.
Alderman Nash?
Yes.
President Pro Tem Benford?
Yes.
Mayor Nystrom?
Yes.
7-0.
Motion passes 7-0. We are adjourned.